Hi, you would not disagree with me when I say an accurate estimation will lead you to a better project delivery, isn't it? So, how do we achieve a better estimation? Now, there are so many different methodologies available today to estimate the software uh, application development effort. And these range from function point analysis to COCOMO model, and some people also are very comfortable using simple, medium, complex metrics based estimation techniques. And a lot of people also prefer experience or expert judgment based estimation techniques as well. Now, there are few things which we should keep in mind. Whatever technique we used or whatever methodology we use, we should ensure that we use that particular methodology consistently throughout the development of that project. We should avoid mixing different technologies and different uh, areas of work or in different phases of the project. That's one very important thing. And second important thing is, I would say don't just do a one point estimation. For example, when you do estimation, of course, you will do a work breakdown structure. You will list down all the activities or tasks that you are going to do to develop that particular application. And then you arrive at estimate for each of these, and you can sum these activities and then arrive at an estimation. But I would suggest that you, for each of the task or activity, you come up with three different types of estimate, and this is called as 3 point estimation technique. One is a pessimistic estimate, one is an optimistic estimate, and the other is the most likely estimate. Most likely estimate is the one which probably you would do when you are doing only the single point estimation. But you should also look at if you have all the information, and if there are no impediments at all, then optimistically how much time you may take. So you may think of a lesser effort probably in that case. Or you should also think about if there are a lot of impediments for that particular task or activity, and there are so many assumptions that you have to make, then you may want to do a pessimistic estimation. So for each of the activities in the work breakdown structure, each of the tasks, you do these three types of estimate: pessimistic, optimistic, and most likely. And once you do that, you take a weighted average of these three, where you give single weightage to pessimistic and optimistic, but you give 4 times the weightage to the most likely, and you take a weighted average. That means your weighted average will be effort P plus 4 times of most likely plus optimistic O divided by 6. This will be the weighted average of these three estimates. Now you do this for all your tasks and activities in the work breakdown structure, and you arrive at a total number. And you also can get a range of these estimates for each of the task and activity, and your range will be plus minus the standard deviation. And the standard deviation is P minus O divided by 6. So suppose you had a pessimistic estimate of a particular activity as 25 hours, optimistic estimate as 10 hours, and most likely as 15 hours. So your weighted average is P plus O, which is 25 plus 10, 35, plus 4 times M, which is 4 multiplied by 15, 60. So 60 plus 35, and this all divided by 6. So 60 plus 35 is 95, divided by 6 is roughly 16. So your weighted average in this case is 16 hours. And what's your range? The range is plus minus 2.5, which is 25 minus 10 by 6. So 25 minus 10 is 15, divided by 6 is 2.5. And so your range of estimate will be 16 plus minus 2.5, that is 13.5 to 18.5. So your actual effort, actually, when you start executing the project, your actual effort will fall between these two numbers, whereas you may have estimated it to be 16 hours because of the weighted average. Now you would have done this for all the activities in your work breakdown structure. So what happens when you actually do the project? Some of the activities you might finish quicker, which will be closer to your optimistic estimate. Some of the activities you might take longer, which will be more closer to your pessimistic estimate. But overall, in the list of those activities and tasks, your average will be close to the sum that you would have got after adding all the activities and tasks in your estimation model. So the reason I am suggesting to use this 3-point estimate is to ensure to get the benefit of the statistical modeling, essentially, because you are averaging out your effort estimate. In some cases you may take less, in some cases you may take more, but overall you would average out your effort estimate. So this is a very important point to know. And the other important thing that you should remember is that when you do an estimation, you arrive at a development effort. What does that mean? You arrive at a coding and unit testing effort. Now you need to arrive at other activities that you do in software development, that is requirements gathering and architecture and design activities, which will include your identifying the class files and their interactions, and also identifying the test strategy and so on and so forth. Then of course you have already estimated for development and unit testing, coding and unit testing, and you also want to come up with system testing effort, and you want to also come up with project management effort. So as a rule of thumb, once you arrive at the development effort, as a rule of thumb, development effort is considered to be half of the total effort. That means if the development effort is 1000 hours, your total effort is 2000. Now you can use this number 2000 to arrive at effort numbers for all other phases. For example, your requirements is say 10% of the total, so 10% of 2000 is 200. Then your design, architecture and design phase should be 15% of the total, so 15% of 2000 is 300. And then your system testing should be 25% of the total, which is coming out to be 500 hours. So this all together, if you add, this also becomes 1000 hours. So 1000 hours of your development effort and 1000 hours of your other efforts, which includes your requirements, your design and your system testing activities. Now on top of this, you add another 10 to 15% for your project management, and this will give the total effort estimate for your project. Now this is just the estimation, and this will help you to plan the resources for those many hours. For example, you need a BA for requirements, you need a architect for design activities, and you need test engineers for testing activities. So you will know how many test engineers, how many developers, how many architects and business analysts you need for completing that project. But this is effort estimate. For coming to the duration of the project, you need to sequence the activities, and that will depend on many things, and we will talk about the sequencing of activities in our next video. Hope you liked this one. Thank you.